Recently, we worked with a group of middle schoolers at the St. James School in Philadelphia, and they created a show, and they called it Freedom Voices, the Youth Political Perspective. And it was a show that we worked with 4 young people who asked questions of some leaders out there, and they have a couple of they had a couple of comments and commentaries about the political society, and we think that they have some voices that we wanted to get across to you.
Okay.
One of which actually had a question for you.
Terrific. But I think it's important to have independent voices that have a lot of liaisons, connections outside, to make sure that the advice you're getting is not advice from within the bubble.
That's important. A lot of youth, staying with the youth, a lot of youth today are concerned. There's a considerable amount of anxiety about this race, and they have been, very agonized over it and are talking amongst themselves. Good thing is they're talking amongst themselves. The question then becomes, how does it work out? So one of the things we're going to do now is let you listen to one of those young people.
My name is Destiny Fairfax, an 8th grader at St. James School. And my question is, by being a neurosurgeon, how can you apply the knowledge to running for president?
Our country was designed for citizen statesmen, not for career politicians, for people who actually had world experience in how to get things done. And one of the things about my career is that there was controversy, because I did a lot of things that were pushing the button, pushing the edge, because they hadn't been done before, but they needed to be done. And the presidency is very much the same way. We have a lot of issues, some of which are new issues, and you've got to learn how to think out of the box. You have to learn how to problem solve. One of the other things is I learned how to work with a lot of different people. Some of the operations were incredibly complex and had never been done before. But I knew that this person had this knowledge and this person had this knowledge. And you bring those people together, everybody then directing themselves toward a final goal. And the Bible says, in the multitude of counselors is safety. When you learn how to work with other people and you don't care who gets the credit, believe me, you can be highly effective.
Dr. Carson, that answer to Destiny Fairfax's question, I know that's going to go a long way, because one of the things that we try to do with Tony and Tenor, because most of our schools have taken civics out. And we're going to reverse. We're bringing the folks to the young people, because it seems like our politicians that are always running will go to the elitist schools, will go to the schools that have with the haves.
Right.
But just you saying that, and that's being played and over the air and at the school, will give these folks in Philadelphia, where democracy was created,
exactly,
in Philadelphia where we have the most depressed areas, the poorest folks in the nation, in the country, in the district where this school is located. This will give those young people, under the direction of head of school David Kasovich, there's somebody out there that cares, and they will appreciate that. And we are happy that you took that question from Destiny.
Well, one of the reasons that Candy and I, my wife and I, started Carson Scholars is we were concerned about so many of our young people. We have high dropout rates. 70 to 80% of high school dropouts are functionally illiterate. So part of our program is we put these reading rooms in, particularly in Title I schools, where a lot of kids come from homes with no books. And these are places that no kid would pass up. And they get points for the number of books they read, and they can trade them in for prizes. In the beginning, they do it for the prizes, but it doesn't take long before that has a profound effect on their academic achievement and changes the trajectory of their lives. These are the kinds of things that we must be doing. And it's really about giving people ladders of opportunity.
So, you mentioned the Carson Scholarship. Is that a national scholarship?
It's active in all 50 states now.
So, if these young people want to get involved, they would just go to, where would they go?
Carsonscholars.org. And we have the second largest number of scholars in the country in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've had a moment along with us to meet with former presidential candidate and renowned neurosurgeon Dr. Benjamin Carson. We greatly appreciate your time being with us here at Tone and Tenor, Bipartisan Voices of the People. I'm Maurice Goodman.
I'm Randall Jefferson. Thank you, Dr. Carson, for being with us.
Thank you both.